Mr. Hobby PS290 trigger style airbrush. Should you ever need to service or maintenance it, here's a good breakdown on how to do so. I guess I'll start with the air valve on the bottom of the brush itself here. Looks like it's fairly loose, so I'm just going to unscrew it. There's a little brass nut in there that holds the spring and plunger in place. You just need to get yourself a maintenance tool to get in there that will grab that, and it'll pop right off. I'll just keep that little nut on the end of that tool for now. And now you can take out the plunger and the spring for it. And there's your air valve components. Next, I'll move to the brush itself and remove the back handle. This is a fluid control knob, so depending where you set that will determine how far back you can pull that trigger for more paint flow. Now this exposed the needle and the needle chuck screw, tightening screw. So once I loosen that, I'll be able to take the needle right out. Now I've finished taking off that nut the whole way. And now I can move on to this waist plate. Just unscrew that and all these components will come together. Behind the waist plate, you will find the needle spring, as well as the needle chuck. And the tension screw there. Now this fell out of the body. I'm not sure if you noticed that. This was right inside the body there. Sometimes it doesn't fall quite out like that. And now usually the slide cam will fall right out too. Take note, after a deep clean or service, you usually want to put some packing grease right here before you reinstall it back into the brush. Now I will go ahead and remove the trigger lever. This is done by just taking a flathead screwdriver, giving it a little turn on that screw there. And once it's fairly loose enough, you can just grab it and it'll pop right out. Now you can see that packing screw inside the body a little bit easier. And removing this is also done with a maintenance tool. It's just a flathead screwdriver with a shaft on there. You just get inside the body there and give it a little turn. Maybe hold it facing down so it stays on your tool. And that'll come right off as well. This is why I have a terry cloth when I do most breakdowns, so it usually keeps everything from rolling around. Now you just need to remove any parts on the front end. So here's the hold down ring for the air cap. Once you unscrew that, you can take the air cap off. They come installed with the fan cap on this particular model, but there is a round one in the box as well. You would just put that on and put the ring on, and you could just change sizes easily. This is a screw-on nozzle, so you will need a nozzle wrench to remove that if needed. Just rest it down on top of that nozzle and spin it till you feel it catch that flat part and give it a little twist. Be very careful when doing so. And the last thing here would be the head unit. I have some anti-marring pliers to not damage the finish. And just give it a little twist. And there you go. Take note, there is an O-ring that's on the head unit itself. Most of the GSI models, the O-ring is inside the body. And there's your breakdown of the PS290. So putting it together is fairly simple as well. Once you get to know a trigger style brush, they're not really too bad. Maybe a few more parts than normal. I guess I'll start with the packing screw, putting that back inside the body. Just a little counterclockwise twist till you feel it catch and tighten it up. Just hand tight, you don't have to overdo it. Take your needle, put it through the body, make sure it is moving freely forward and backwards, but it needs to be tight enough where that needle doesn't fall out. This blocks all that paint from coming back and ending up on your trigger and finger. That felt pretty good, so I guess I'll keep on going with the front end of the brush. Screw on the head unit back on. Give it a little bit more of a tightening. Now I can reinstall the nozzle. Be very careful in doing so. They're easily damaged and can shear off with no effort at all. All you need is just a little bit hand tight, metal to metal, and you're all set. Now I can put the air cap back on and that hold down ring for it. I guess it's a good time to put the slide cam back in it. Like I mentioned, you do want to grease it up before you put it in, and there's also a certain way to put it in. You always want to make sure that little angle on here lines up with the angle of that trigger. That way it has full range of motion. Just slide that back into the body, line it up fairly flat. Now you can put that spring back in and then build your components for your valve body here. So I have the needle chuck, the needle spring, and my waist plate. Screw that on like so, and then enter the needle chuck hexagon first. Goes in first. Once that's on, you can put your needle chuck screw on just a little bit, not completely just yet until you put the needle in. Now it's time for that trigger lever. Just line that up again with those holes there. Grab your mounting screw and tighten it back up. Make sure everything feels nice and is working well, and you're ready to install that needle. I like to have the needle chuck on because it gives you a little bit more of a guide when reinserting a needle. Less likely to damage it. Push it all the way forward and lock it down. Now you can install the back handle, and the only thing left is the air valve. Now on this plunger here, the shorter part of it would go in first. Let's press it all the way in. Put the spring over top that shaft, and now you can reinstall the screw. Try to get it over top of that shaft. A little counterclockwise, you'll feel it click as well. And then you can tighten it up. Give it a little push on top of that plunger and make sure it's working well, and install it onto your brush. And there's your breakdown of the PS290. Hope you enjoy your new GSI brush, and if you don't have one already, get it here at spraygunner.com.